Hey, and welcome to my studio. I'm ALTREAL, and today we are gonna be breaking down my new track, Higher Feeling, which is out now on Immersed Recordings. So yeah, let's dive right in. So here we have the main project and a master because it wasn't really working too well. I think now I froze all the tracks and it kind of works better. So let's dive right in. So at first glance, what we have is like the main arrangement. This is the extended mix, or basically the original mix. So we're gonna go into the first breakdown, where we encounter this first part. We have this sound here. And with that sound, the main sound, basically one of the main sounds, is this analog lab. The cutoff is being modulated a lot with the LFO. So yeah, it's kind of changing a lot, but the actual modulation was recorded with a MIDI controller. I was really like changing it on the go. So this is like an old recording of that, like one of the first things I did. I don't think it's anymore in the project, like the original sound. But anyway, that's one of the main things of the track, and we have all these elements. We have that pad, a nice arpeggio there, and then we have this another pad that is kind of getting modulated a lot with the movement there and some processing. And we jump into the okay, so the arpeggio is doing some steps, jumping steps later on the track, like doing going higher, like, and in the arpeggio it's some auto panning, some chorus. So yeah, mostly that's about it on the chords. Some little EQing and little sidechain, not much there. Now on the drums, what I've done is layer the kicks. I have two kicks. One is the low end main kick, and then we have the top kick, basically, which is like the high. That you can really not hear it, but it really adds to the track. So what I'm doing is clipping them a bit, controlling a bit the transient with this, with the drum shaper and with the Kashmir Essentials. Yeah, the Essential is quite, it's good, but you have to use it really little. The same, the main kick is mostly the same processing, basically the same plugins with a slight change in the parameters, according to the track. So then we have some glue compression to bring those two together. We do a lot of makeup because I think we are taking a lot of also. Just a lot of makeup basically. So then we have some queuing, proyect, limiting, and some final transient shaping. My English kind of died there. So yeah, we really had to shape the track, the kick for the track into it, because it wasn't really working in the beginning. It was really either too stabby or too like knocky. So it was kind of hard to find that balance there with the kick, and I'm quite happy where it got, where it's out. Then we step onto the drums. We go first to the cymbals, which are doing. So the processing on them is kind of basically I'm taking the sound and trying to make it as dirty, kind of, you know, sandy with a lot of grit in it. So I'm using a lot of duck. I don't think you can see it because of the way it's recording the screen, but it's really good. I'm using also a chorus to make it have a bit more movement to it. And then we have different shakers. These are shakers. I left both of them because I like the face they had going on between them. There's a point where they kind of phase out and make like a weird thing. I really like that. It was kind of an accident. And then we have some more hi-hats and really compressed and controlling the sounds there. The same here, controlling the everything, you know, with sidechain and compression and giving it a bit of shape. Mostly controlling the transients because you don't want to have a transient that triggers a compressor in the main bus or in the drum bus, and it makes you have a duck in volume. You know, it's just you don't want that. It's not ideal for the mix. It can make really funky shit there. So then we go into snares, which basically have all the breaks in it too. So we have this group that are actually the snares. We are a lot of grit, you know, like this sound is bringing a lot of texture. Not much processing. And then on this snare we have a little bit more. ALTREAL giving it a lot of space to it, like you know, it sounds far, but it sounds in the face at the same time. It's really crazy. This one is not even EQ'd, so yeah, it just worked. My project is all funky now. What? Okay, so moving on, we have all the breaks. We have this one first. As you can see on this one, I'm using a bit of erosion. It adds like a sine boom kind of sound to it, like really making it cut a bit more. This only just, you know, filtering some things. And this one also not much, some slight panning to give it more you know, movement around the stereo. And that's basically all the drums. You know, the drums are really getting a lot of processing through this. Sorry, can show it. The talak is really good. It gives the sound this grit, this like sandiness. I don't know how to say, but like I wanted like this 90s, you know, like the vinyl kind of analog vibe sounds color of that era, and bringing it into the breaks a bit, you know. So altogether they kind of sound like this. So really nice and really kind of warm it sound. Then we have the bass, which is alongside with the first element I showed you, LFO. The Reese bass on this track was also like the first of second element that I kind of integrated into the track, and from there on I did not change this. Like, the ones that came out are literally the ones that I made like a year ago, when I started the project. So they sound like this. So first off, we have the top layer of the Reese bass, which is making the most modulation. It has a lot of movement there, but also has a lot of with the delay and the mute and verb. I'm making it like that tail you can hear. How that high note kind of lingers a bit after it went. It's I don't know. It gives it a lot of space in a way, and I really like that. So I stick with that, and then added a low end layer. And yeah, so it sounds really nice. It's getting a little like a lot of EQing, but not much more than that. Some saturation to make it cut through the mix, and some compression, and that's about it. It's not that complex. It's a preset on in Zebra. That's the preset basically, so you can go ahead and use it. Tweak it around. So yeah, on the bass. Okay. On the main bass of the bass, we have some SSL compression, some EQing, and some Pro-M multiband. I'm controlling a lot of the low end there. So it's you have like a balanced bass. You have like the really present bass, but also a really present high end, which in this case was really important to have that cutting bass, in the mix, because so you see, it really adds a lot to the track. Well, the bass, they all together. It's really driving forward the track with that bass there. And then we go into the, these three elements really were the first things I made, and I sat on the idea for like 6 months. And then I started to work again on it, added a bit of vocals to it, and so a lot of little different vocals went into making this work. This, for example, is like an tail of the shout there, the higher baby. It keeps. So you have like a continuous like, it really add like a lot of energy to the track in a way. So then we have like a little different ear kindly basically, but really adds also. It's not so much some pancake, panning around, some reverbing. All of these sounds, all vocals are going into either tal reverb or tal dub. which are then getting a little bit of, you know, sidechain and de-essing in the reverb, and then some sidechain only in the dub, which are great delays, honestly, and a great reverb, really easy to use and great sound. So I'm sending everything there to give everything just kind of is minimal, you know, but it adds to the whole thing. This one is really low in the mix, really back, but I really like how I'm tuning each audio of this. I'm tuning it a bit to a few semitones to make it. I don't know if I can see with this. You see, there is up 2 semitones. Then, you know, it really following the chord line in a way. So yeah, basically that's, you know, a lot of like year and a half of working on this, over 60 hours spent, and I learned a lot of things, of mixing and producing on this. So I really like this track. I hope you like it too. So well, in the effects, it's mostly like some atmosphere, some feeling the spectrum noise, and then some transitioning effects. That's mostly it, you know. And then we have, let's listen to a master. All right, this is the one. So, you know, it's really different from what I normally do, so that's why it really took a long time to figure it out too. But I had a lot of fun, honestly. Breakbeat is quite fun to make. So yeah, I hope you really enjoyed the track. It's out now on Immersed Recordings, alongside with my good friend and producer Lazarus with his track Oracle. So go check that out on all streaming platforms of your choice. And yeah, I might do another one of these breakdowns. So let me know what you want to see. Which track should I break down of my other tracks? So yeah, see you on the next one, I guess. Goodbye.